2023 has been crazy for the housing market. What cities are most affected by the price crash of real estate? Let's find out. Number 1. Boise, Idaho. Starting in 2021, Boise was the first to witness a housing market crash, and the effects are still very much felt today. What's interesting is that some sellers are now offering homes for less than $25,000 compared to what those identical houses were worth in 2021. The real estate market in Boise is showing signs that it might get even, especially in some parts of the metro area, where homes are still way overpriced. Boise houses were 43% overpriced at one point, gradually declining due to 1 in 10 homeowners packing up and returning to work, often selling at a loss of up to $100,000. Dallas, a macroeconomic powerhouse, is also experiencing market weakness. The housing market is currently because of mortgage rates. Due to a lack of interest, houses are becoming harder to sell. With the current 82% decline from the peak in 2021, the entire situation has turned into a roller coaster that is heading downward. Thus, it's safe to conclude that few individuals want to purchase property now, and that the housing market isn't doing well. In numerous American communities, this forces homeowners to reduce their asking pricing, representing a decline of more than 133% from its high, and forecasts imply that it may continue to decline. This is a situation worth considering whether you're thinking about investing or purchasing. Number 2. Sarasota, Florida. The cost of housing is currently declining in Florida. Let's examine Sarasota, situated on the state's western edge, as an example. The inventory of homes has increased significantly in the last year. Property sales are up 30%. How even a drop in challenging inventory made things complicated. Complicatedness that vendors are using, which means they are lowering their pricing. For example, one listing had its price slashed by a whopping $31,000. This was the 4th drop since the listing began in June. Despite removing $100,000 from the initial cost, no one is interested. It is anticipated that the situation will get worse. The market for investment properties in Florida has been declining, particularly for Airbnb purchases over the last 3 to 6 months, even as the pandemic has ended and holiday rentals have reached a 7-year low due to rising housing expenses. Due to its downturn, Airbnb has added to the state's general housing market difficulties. This is a situation that worries buyers and sellers in equal measure. Number 3. Seaville, Tennessee. As of late in Seaville, Tennessee, prices have been noticeably declining. Seaville is a charming mountain town in eastern Tennessee, not too far from Knoxville if you're unfamiliar with it. The fact that many house sellers in this area have been slashing their prices by a staggering 35%, the highest cut rate on record, is especially noteworthy. The principal cause of this sharp price reduction is the number of Airbnb owners in sale keen to leave the market. They feel the squeeze because their homes aren't bringing in as much money as they once did. Consider a listing that was $850,000 at first and is currently listed for $650,000. A significant $200,000 reduction. This specific property generates $76,000 in gross annual income from its use as an overnight rental. Nonetheless, the net revenue is probably between $40,000 and $50,000, which translates to a modest 6% cap rate for a short-term rental under these circumstances. This ad will probably sit on the market for a while without getting any interest. Number 4. Phoenix, Arizona. In August, 55% of sellers opted to reduce their asking prices, highlighting the growing pressure in the market. It's a situation that showcases the changing tides in Phoenix's housing market, where you as a buyer can find more favorable conditions. The housing market is currently challenging due to the high mortgage rates. Due to a lack of interest, houses are becoming harder to sell. Statistics from the Mortgage Bankers of America (MBA) have proven this. Their weekly applications for home loans have dropped to their lowest level since 1995, a long time ago. The same problem now plagues number 5. Number 5. Salt Lake City. The median listing price here now stands at $635,000. The median listing price per square foot is now $247. That's a 4% change in year-over-year price per square foot. With the current 82% decline from the peak in 2021, the entire situation has turned into a roller coaster that is heading downward. Thus, it's safe to conclude that not many individuals want to purchase a property at the moment, and that the housing market isn't doing that well. In numerous American communities, this forces homeowners to reduce their asking prices. Zillow reports home prices are cooling, especially during colder fall and winter. Cities hit hardest by market troubles are expected to experience significant price drops. High mortgage rates make buyers more cautious, but great deals may be available for those planning to buy a house. Number 6 is now a crazy place. Number 6. San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio, Texas comes in 6th place. In San Antonio, Texas, home values have been declining. It's significant to remember that the number of houses for sale in this Texas city has doubled from the pandemic lows to approximately 8,500. This considerable increase in the number of available homes indicates that there is currently more supply than demand in the market. San Antonio vendors are under pressure as a result, which is causing prices to decline. Due to the increased number of properties accessible, buyers now have more options, which forces sellers to reduce the price of their listings to increase their appeal. This changing dynamic is something to keep an eye on if you're considering buying property in San Antonio, as it could provide opportunities to secure a more favorable price, unlike at number 7. Number 7. Pensacola, Florida. Pensacola is the next deal. Housing costs are drastically declining in Florida as well. In San Francisco, California, sellers are lowering their prices to draw in buyers as many more residences are now up for sale. Things are considerably worse in Pensacola. Homeowners are getting between $100,000 and $200,000 less for their properties when they sell them than what they bought for them. It's a challenging circumstance, like the housing market of number 8. Number 8. Las Vegas, Nevada. The housing market in Las Vegas, Nevada is mainly driven by investor and tourist demands. These factors usually don't do well during a recession, and we're seeing the effects now. The number of homes for sale in Las Vegas has shot up over the last year, from 3,900 to 8,500, which is 25% higher than the usual for January. This increase in available homes is forcing sellers in Vegas to drop their prices. Looking at the data, Vegas's housing market is still considered 26% overvalued, even though prices have already fallen by about 10%. Prices might drop another 26% in the next year or two. When talking about the housing crash in 2023, some people think it won't be as severe as the one in 2007. That might be true for some cities. In the last downturn, Vegas's market dropped 60%, and in this one, it could decrease by 30 to 35%. That's not as drastic as before, but it's still a significant drop. Number 9. Denver, Colorado. Denver, Colorado has seen a decrease in housing prices, with a recent drop of 1.4%. This is part of a longer-term downward trend, as there has been a significant decline in prices over the past year. When compared to data from Zillow, this housing crisis in Denver appears to be more severe than the one in 2008. Back at the end of 2007, Denver's housing prices were at 1.3%, but they have now increased to 1.4%. However, the outlook for the market is not positive. Prices are expected to continue falling due to various economic factors. The current housing crash is just beginning, and what we've seen so far is only a small part of the overall situation. Based on current trends, the housing market in Denver will likely face more challenges due to the looming recession and higher interest rates set by the Federal Reserve. Number 10. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. In Myrtle Beach, the median listing price is $366,075. The median listing price per square foot is $225, and since last year, the price has changed by over 7.3%. But for some people, 2024 would be a better year to buy a house. Industry insiders predict that although home prices will probably stay high, and even rise in some markets, prices in some regions of the nation will likely decline. In addition, analysts believe that the Federal Reserve's 20-month rate hiking campaign is ending after the bank held its federal funds rate steady at its November 1st meeting, and inflation started to decline in October. In all, there's reason to be optimistic in 2024, as the market is expected to ease up a bit. But would new homeowners be able to cope with mortgages in an uncertain future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you found this content valuable. We'll see you in the next one.